Willpower, I've talked about it as being a gas tank, right? That gets depleted over the course of a day or over the course of a project or something like that. So, what are the ways in which, and does that lead to burnout? Yes. Either a big burnout or a small burnout, depending. And what are the ways in which we can avoid that? So, one thing I think is just to start from where we are, which is that, like, understanding that willpower is a finite resource. Like, if you understand that, then you can understand, like, well, you can't expect to drive a car any further once the gas tank hits empty. Like, you're not going anywhere. You're not going to go any further when the gas tank is empty. So I think that's kind of the way to really, like, nitty-gritty think about it, is like when your willpower is tapped out, you know, there's not much more you can do. And in fact, like, whatever you do after that is probably not as going to be as good if you do keep pushing, and also it's probably going to take you a lot longer. So, why would you do that? Like, that's just not smart. Like, you only have so much time and life in your life. So, um, you know, I like to be respectful of the sacredness of time and be as efficient with it, but not because I think efficiency is the be all end all. No, because then I'd rather have more time to do other things that I love to do, like backpacking and hiking and hanging out with friends and cooking and being with my partner and all those kinds of things. A lot of other things besides work. So, burnout. How do we avoid it? Like, well, so start from where you are, which is realize that willpower is a finite resource, and then also build in ways, what I call filling the well, or in this case, filling the gas tank. Um, and this is cool because, like, how do you fill the well? Well, we know that sleep is one of the biggest ways to restore pour gas in the gas tank. Um, so, paying attention to your sleep. Are you getting enough? Are you doing all the things that we should do? And I'm not by any means a sleep expert, but there's plenty of resources nowadays to for you to dive deep into that rabbit hole, and you should, because, like, sleep is the final frontier, basically. Like, we're just starting to figure out how important it is and how many things it affects. So sleep, but, like, are you working all the time? Like, don't work all the time. It's like, have a hard stop, you know, shut your computer down at 7 p.m. Like, no, don't work anymore. Just don't. But the key to that is you need to be able to have something to do in that space. Otherwise, you'll just keep working. So this is what I like to call, like, a menu, a self-care menu, you know, and what's the point of it? The point is to refill the gas tank, doing things you love, hanging out with friends, going to see a movie, um, not mindlessly scrolling Netflix or mindlessly binging on Netflix, but, like, something finite that actually makes you feel like, okay, I wanted to see that, I saw it, awesome. You know, um, for me, I love going to museums. Obviously, I haven't been able to do a lot of that during COVID, but um, I'll just pick a museum and go for a couple of hours. Um, Maybe it's a puzzle. I don't know. You got to figure it out for yourself. But the point is to have those things ready, and know what they are, versus just having a big giant gap where you're like, because you'll just default to working because that's what you do most of the day. Um, yeah. So burnout. I mean, I think this is true for a project too. Like, you know, writing a big record, unless you're under some, like, really serious deadline, building in time off from the project lets you see it differently. I mean, that's the other thing, is when we fill up our willpower tank, we feel better, we see things a little bit differently than only when we're half full or at empty. So, burnout, it's real. It's pervasive, it's insidious kind of. I think we're all in the Western world pretty used to like low level white noise burnout because we don't get as serious about our rest as we do about our work. So how can you get serious about your rest or your relaxation time?